when Jane Batten decides that education is an area where she is going to focus on, she will do whatever it takes to make that happen.
Education, she believes, and a lot of us believe, is a key to bringing some sanity and understanding.
Early in my marriage, I got asked to be on various boards and be involved in projects. And my husband said that he had had the most gratifying civic experiences concerned with education, and he thought I probably would too, and he was right.
Jane has been all in when it comes to early education. She has given her time, she has given her leadership, she has given so much to this cause, and quite honestly, we wouldn't be where we are today without her.
Obviously, children in early education learn by doing physical things or by hearing music or seeing pictures or building things.
The vision of the new E3 school really started about 6 years ago, and Jane has been the driving force creating that high-quality demonstration model that's going to be sitting next to the Y on Granby and Park Place.
I tell people, if you want to change the world, you start 0 to 5, and I truly believe that.
Without her passion and her dedication to this issue, we would never be where we are today.
I've always known Jane's passion for education, from whether it's early childhood or technology in the classrooms.
Well, WHRO, people just think of Downton Abbey and Jay Sennett on the radio, but it has huge educational resources.
In fact, we probably provide more services to the schools today than we have in the history of our entire life. As Jane and I were talking, and we had this concept of this education portal that the schools wanted, she became very interested and had that vision of saying, what would it take to make this free to everybody? And eMedia VA has now become the center point of the state's digital education strategy. It is visionary, it is world-class in the kind of tools we're providing, and Jane understood it right from the beginning.
You learn by doing things, not by sitting in a classroom and getting preached at.
She's had a long-term vision about helping young children really get the kind of leg up so that they are successful in their educational process.
First Tee and Sail Nauticus. Both of those institutions use a sport, golf or sailing, to teach life skills or science skills.
First Tee is really an experiential program. You know, it's not just that skill that you're learning, but again, it's that opportunity to confront the question of integrity, the question of honesty, the question of responsibility.
At the First Tee, they're learning how to be good human beings and good citizens, because golf has certain rules that there's no gray in golf. So we built a golf course, 9 holes. We built a little clubhouse and learning center. And then we thought, we don't have a clue how to run this place.
I could tell Jane was thinking about something. And then she all of a sudden said to me, Chuck, what if we made it possible for the Y to have and take over the First Tee program?
I said, Chuck, do you want a golf course?
We went forward and implemented that program across our entire Y system. Over 25,000 kids in our community have come in contact with the core values that are put forth by the First Tee program.
I've always been interested in environment and environmental education.
One of Chesapeake Bay Foundation's roles is education. And the Chesapeake Bay Foundation takes about 2,500 students every year from Hampton Road schools out on the water to let them learn about the water and the environment. The Brock Center will serve as a physical place that those students can come and wander around the grounds actually see the water.
And it is truly an amazing building, number one, and will be a wonderful resource for environmental education for students and for teachers.
She would say, you know, the next shot we got out of them after early childhood education is in college.
I believe in liberal arts education as a basis for learning and becoming for the rest of your life. Someone said you don't learn to earn, you learn to begin to learn. And I've found that true.
We have a scholarship on our campus called the Batten Scholarship. These young people are Batten scholars. She also understands that if we can bring them to Virginia Wesleyan with that very serious scholarship, then we have a chance of keeping them in our community. She's a woman with a very compassionate heart, and when she latches hold of something, she just won't turn it loose. She's going to make Hampton Roads a better place. And her way of doing that is to pour herself, pour her resources, pour her heart into education.
I remember Paul Frame came to see my husband and said, we need to build a new central library. And then he said to me before he died, you do whatever you have to do to make this happen, and we want it to be special.
We went together to see some libraries that the architects had built. She got to know everybody on a first name basis. Some of the best architects in the world didn't make the cut. I mean, Jane really wanted something very special.
It's due to open in January, and it's architecturally and technologically an amazing building.
Clearly, she's been inspiring. And the fact that she's willing to come to these meetings repeatedly and sit there and read all the papers and get involved in the dialogue and then tell people what she thinks.
You stay involved and then you get more interested, and it builds from there.
It's a thing of beauty, actually, in the community. We'll be very, very proud of this.
Josh, of course, was a visionary leader who cared deeply about education. Jane is in that same cloth.
Josh and I are related by marriage. My stepfather, Hunter Hogan, was Josh's uncle. And so Josh and I knew each other from the time we were little children. He and I shared this passion for supporting education. If it was good for the community, Josh was going to support it and see that it got done.
Jane is not a timid soul. She's willing to share her vision. She's willing to provide you some guidance, and she's willing to provide the resources to make her vision become a reality.
She is phenomenal in the way that she stays focused.
She recognizes the issues, she identifies some solutions, she gets the right people in the room to work on it, and then she makes sure it's sustainable.
She is the one person in this region now that can make things happen.
I always try to find myself on the right side of the argument, and the right side of the argument quite often is Jane Batten.